Photographs help us remember wonderful memories of our friends, our family, and our childhood, but what happens when this is not the case and instead these photographs capture horrifying situations? These are 6 nightmare-inducing photos. Number 6. Very little is known about Mr. Hoyt. In the year 1999, he had a car accident which he merely survived. He had fallen into a coma and was transported to the hospital suffering severe fractures and wounds. After several days, everybody in the hospital was awoken by a gut-wrenching scream. The noises were coming from Hoyt's room. He had just awoken from his coma and was mentioning that he had seen the devil, that demons were chasing him and that they would eventually catch him. Mr. Hoyt recovered of his physical injuries and went on to live a life refusing psychological therapy, but his nightmares would continue to chase him. Sometime after being discharged, he moved to an apartment, but his peace of mind wouldn't last very long. One day, his neighbors called the police to report loud music coming from his apartment, and this is what they found. Mr. Hoyt was naked and holding a block of ice, screaming that he was burning and that the devil was going to get him. Hoyt is currently in a mental institution in Maryland. Number 5. One early morning, hooded criminals broke inside the home of Colombian farmer Elvia Cortez. She fought hard, but they quickly overpowered her and secured a bomb around her neck. The assailants left several cassette tapes demanding $7,500 right before running off into the jungle. Elvia was hopeful that everything would turn out okay. A military bomb technician showed up a few hours later, but unprepared, he only used a bandsaw and a penknife to attempt and disarm the bomb. But the device was way too advanced for his knowledge. The bomb detonated only 2 hours later, killing both Elvia and the bomb technician. Number 4. John is a man currently working for the US Navy. He spent most of his service at sea, but every so often the military ship would go into dry dock. Dry dock is when a ship is brought into a lock with the gates closed and all of the water is pumped out, leaving the ship high and dry on the blocks, thus allowing for repairs and inspections. As part of the routine, all personnel had to leave the ship, and John was in charge of going through the ship alone with a camera and documenting all of the work areas before repairs. He took several hundred pictures and sent them all to his boss, but his boss, upon seeing them, contacted John straight away asking, "Who was the guy with the axe?" A thorough search was carried out and CCTV footage was examined, but nobody was seen leaving the ship. Several techniques have been used to enhance the quality of the picture, and this is the result. To this day, the picture has not been proven to be a fake. Number 3. One of the most violent prison riots occurred in 1992 at Carandiru Penitentiary in Sao Paulo, Brazil. At the time, this was the largest prison in Latin America and it was horribly overcrowded. On October 2nd, a dispute between rival gangs quickly escalated into a full-scale riot. The inmates took control of the facility and authorities made no attempt to negotiate with them. They killed 111 prisoners and wounded 35 more. This picture details the blood-tainted water running through the prison corridors. Number 2. A single mother was living with her kid in a very humble home. After a long day at work, she was watching TV and her son asked if he could play with her cell phone. She said yes, but also advised him not to go through the messages. He was a pretty good kid, so she trusted him. A couple of hours went by and then it was time to sleep. As the mother looked for her son, she found him sleeping in the bedroom. It was here when she noticed something strange. The cell phone was carefully placed on the nightstand. She took the phone and began going through the pictures. Then, her stomach turned when she came across a picture of his son sleeping, and he wasn't alone. Number 1. Charlie Noonan was a folklorist. A folklorist is a person that is an expert in the culture of different countries or regions. This includes music, traditions, religious beliefs, and myths relevant to a certain area. During the 1920s, there was a large migration of black Frenchmen and women, and voodoo had been introduced to some of the southern states in the US. One day, Charlie Noonan heard the story of an elderly woman who lived in the outskirts of Oklahoma. The people in that town were absolutely terrified of her. Many believed this woman to be more than just an old lady, but a powerful witch, now that she was never seen without her veil and always had a German shepherd by her side. This story absolutely fascinated Charlie, so he packed his bags and set off on a journey to interview the mysterious old lady from Oklahoma, but he would never be seen again. Approximately 10 years later, Ellie Noonan, his widowed wife, was sent a package in the mail. The package contained a note and a camera. The note detailed the story of how the camera was purchased for a bargain in Oklahoma. The man who made the purchase was able to create a connection between the disappearance of Charlie and the camera now that it was engraved with his name. Then, after an in-depth investigation, he sent the package to the widowed wife. Annie Noonan grabbed a hold of the camera and went to reveal the photos, but there was only one photo in the entire strip of film.